The next morning, the 7 commoners left the cottage to work at a bakery in a nearby village. As promised from the night before, Shadow Black and Chow White went straight to work. He washed the dishes in the sink while she dried them and placed them back in the cupboard. They were so busy with their task that they did not see King Eggman standing outside the cottage, watching them.
Well, Shadow Black, this is it. Today is the day you will meet your fate.
Immediately following the dishes, Shadow Black swept the floor as Chow White dusted the dust off the furniture. You know, Chow White, I think we make a pretty good team.
Chow, 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 chow.
Everything was going all right, until suddenly, there was a knock on the door. I'll get it. He opened the door and was greeted by an old woman with white hair and a black cloak, carrying a basket full of apples.
Good morning, lad.
Good morning. What brings you here in the forest?
Well, I was trying to sell my apples to the people in the village, but they didn't want them. They just continued walking, minding their own business and completely forgot about little old me. So, I decided to go to the forest and see if there is anyone who would want my delicious apples, and somehow I came across this cottage. From what I heard, you must be a prince.
Why, as I am. Well, I was anyway. It's a long story, though.
In that case, today is your lucky day, because I have a special apple for you. Here it is, go on now. Have a bite of this delicious apple.
No, thank you. I just had breakfast not too long ago, so I'm not hungry.
Nonsense! Nonsense! Come now, lad. You can't possibly turn down a nice-looking apple.
Well, okay. I guess I could take a bite.
That's the spirit.
Chow, 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 chow.
Chow White, what's the matter?
Chow, 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 chow.
Pay no attention to that chow, my dear. Just have a bite of the apple, and you won't regret it.
Tell you what, Chow White, I'll just take one bite of this apple, and I'll show you that it's fine. Okay. That's my girl. When he was given the apple, Shadow Black just stared at it for a minute or two, until he took a bite. Surprisingly enough, it tasted really good. It was sweet. It was juicy. It was so delicious. This is really good. See, Chow White, it's not so bad, was it? Suddenly, Shadow Black began to feel that something was not right. He felt that somehow, a piece of an apple got stuck in his throat. He looked into it and discovered that there was a liquid sleeping potion inside the fruit. It was then he realized that the peddler tricked him. He had bitten a poisoned apple. With as much energy as he could muster, Shadow Black tried coughing up the piece of an apple from his throat, but it was too late. Poor Shadow Black took his last breath and fell onto the floor with a bitten apple in his hand.
Chow chow! Chow 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 chow!
Oh Oh my, one of my apples must be poisoned. I should have known. Oh wait, I know. No way, I'm not a peddler.
I'm King Eggman, ruler of the ultimate kingdom, and I shall be the most handsome of all the land. Now that Shadow Black is down, we will never get in my way again. Sleep well, sweet prince. It is one big sleep you will never awaken from.
Chow White's eyes filled with tears as she mourned her dearest friend. Not realizing that he was actually asleep, she began to scream for help. Meanwhile, at the village, Cream Orange, Cosmo Lime and Cheese Sky Blue were allowing the customers into the bakery. It was then that Cheese Sky Blue heard a noise. It was a screech. It was a cry for help. It came from Chow White. When he heard Chow White scream, Cheese Sky Blue could tell that something went horribly wrong in their cottage. He had to tell the others.
What is it, Cheese? Shadow Black is in danger. We better tell our friends and then go back home right away.
The commoners ran to their cottage as fast as they could, but when they got home, they found Chow White weeping next to the unconscious prince, and a bitten apple on the floor.
Chow White, what happened? Chow White, settle down. Slow down and tell us what happened to Shadow Black.
It was King Eggman. I knew it.
Whoa, there's some green stuff in the apple.
It appeared that King Eggman dipped the apple into the sleeping potion, causing Shadow Black to fall asleep. Don't worry, Chow White. We'll get him out of it. I'm sure we will.
Once they managed to place Shadow Black on one of their beds, the commoners tried to figure out how they could get him to wake up.
Since you woke him up with your mystic melody before, maybe you could do it again, Lavinia.
Okay, here goes nothing. Strange. It worked last night.
Maybe we should give him a tickle. I have a feather here, Cheese and Chow White. Tickle him. Tickle, 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 tickle. He doesn't seem to be laughing at all. Maybe you should pour some cold water on him.
Yeah, that might get Shadow Black to wake up.
I'm way ahead of you guys. Here it goes. No matter how hard we tried to get him to wake up, nothing is working. What do we do now?
I guess we're gonna have to wait until he wakes up.
They waited and waited and waited. Day after day, week after week, month after month, and the poor prince was still under an enchanted slumber. Chow White made a promise to herself that she would never leave her dearest friend's side. So, she built a cocoon around herself near the bed he was lying on, and there she would stay, until somehow, she could find a way to help break the spell.